Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. Tonight, these are the questions that we're going to try to get an answer for. Van Jones has left the White House, but why didn't the White House reject Van Jones, his past? And I don't mean a long, long time ago. I mean last spring. Where was the mainstream media? In fact, I erased it earlier. Where is the mainstream media? Why are they making this story about me? I'm a minor player in this story. And will Van Jones still work with the White House? I know there are a lot of lefties out there that are scrambling right now to bring him in. Should he be a part of our national policy-making team? I can't get answers. Maybe you can. That's the White House phone number, 202-456-1414. Maybe you should just call them and ask them, please. We'd just like a few answers. These are dangerous people surrounding the president. If you believe this country is great, but some people are trying to sink it, stand up and come follow me. Hello, America. I had a long weekend, and Sunday I spent it with my wife, and we went to West Point just to walk the campus. It was nice to see honor there. Just in case your only source of news is ABC, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, or as the White House was hoping that you were out doing things with your family this long weekend and didn't check the news, which was released about midnight Sunday morning. That way it wouldn't be in any of the papers. The Green Job Czar, special advisor to the president, Van Jones, has resigned. But here is the one thing. My phone, my email, my Twitter were hammered all weekend with people offering congratulations. First, let me say this. I am not the one to congratulate. I can go on and on and on about this stuff every night, but if you don't care and it doesn't connect with the American people, what I say doesn't matter. Let me start with the good news. The good news is you still have power. You still have clout in Washington. I'm wondering what's going to happen on 9/12, what the response to Washington will be on this coming Saturday when people are gathered in their hometowns, or many of them, near the White House in Washington, D.C. We'll be covering it. We'll see how many people show up, want their voice to be heard. In many cases, your representatives, your congressmen and your senators in Washington knew nothing about Van Jones. You were actually educating them. I've seen the videotape at town halls. And it wasn't until late last week that a few brave political people began to speak out. But you know what? It wasn't until this weekend that the mainstream media started saying it, and they got the story wrong 6 ways to Sunday. But here's the bad news. When this came out and people started to text message me and call me and say congratulations, my first response was, you still don't get it. This was a victory of sorts, but only for those who are playing political games. I'm not doing that, and I don't think you are either. You're trying to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. Friends, it's in trouble. Obama was hoping that this would all just go away. One of the headlines from the Politico this weekend was, Beck up, left down. Well, I read that article a couple of times because I was shocked by some of the language in it on the quotes. Van Jones said that this was a vicious smear campaign. Okay, really? He was able to resign, not to be fired. And during his resignation, he placed the blame on others, not himself. What Van Jones doesn't understand is, I didn't bring down Van Jones. You didn't bring down Van Jones. Van Jones brought down Van Jones. How is it that a smear campaign is conducted when you're only using the person's words? I mean, is it a smear campaign to quote Van Jones in his own words?
This movement is deeper than a solar panel. Deeper than a solar panel. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. No, we're going to change the whole system. We're going to change the whole thing. We're not going to put a new battery in a broken system. We want a new system. We want a new system.
This was from something that we didn't have to dig into his deep, dark past. All we had to do was go to last spring. That was a forum that happened spring '09. You saw it there on the podium. He wants to change the whole system. Am I smearing him by using his own words? He wants to change the whole system. Now, what wasn't answered was, gosh, Does President Obama want to change the whole system? He also wants to give Native Americans the wealth.
No more broken treaties. No more broken treaties. Give them the wealth. Give them the wealth.
Give them the wealth. President Obama, do you believe that? I think that's worth asking and certainly worth hearing the answer to. Then there's this Van Jones favorite, bringing up agencies that believe that white polluters are steering poison to minority neighborhoods.
The white polluters and the white environmentalists are essentially steering poison into the people of color communities.
White people are steering poison into communities of people of color. Hello? The media got all worked up because Van Jones called Republicans a rude name. Here's the clip that did it.
How were the Republicans able to push things through when they had less than 60 senators, but somehow we can't?
Well, the answer to that is they're
That was the clip that they showed over and over again. I think, what was it, Thursday they finally showed this? That was the clip? You have him earlier saying that white people are intentionally poisoning communities of color? What the hell is that? They didn't even take the time to listen to the rest of that quote. This is the part, if you're going to take that quote, that moment, it's not the Republic. I've called the Republicans names myself. Many Americans have, left and right. This is the part of the quote that makes him dangerous in many ways. He is no longer restricted on what he can say or do, and listen to how he describes himself.
And Barack Obama's not an asshole. So, now, I will say this. I can be an asshole. And some of us who are not Barack Hussein Obama are going to have to start getting a little bit uppity.
Okay, he's going to get a little bit uppity. Oh, I bet he is. I bet he is. Let me ask you this question. 2 questions, just for that. And let me ask it since nobody in the mainstream media will. First question. Did he just say Barack Hussein Obama? Because I know if anybody else says that, they're just trying to scare people. Why is he using that? Is there anything to be learned from that? Second question, getting a little bit uppity. Is he making a threat there? I don't know. I know anybody who started a revolutionary communist organization probably should be somebody that we watch on threats. This isn't about Van Jones. It's not. Van Jones, I think, is a very scary guy. But the White House has just swept him out with the trash. And they haven't answered the questions. Remember, this wasn't about Van Jones. This is to try to figure out who the President of the United States is by looking at the people he surrounds himself with. Play the tape, please.
Let me tell you who I associate with. On economic policy, I associate with Warren Buffett and former Fed Chairman Paul Volcker. If I'm interested in figuring out my foreign policy, I associate myself with my running mate Joe Biden or with Dick Lugar, the Republican ranking member on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, or General Jim Jones, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. Those are the people, Democrats and Republicans, who have shaped my ideas and who will be surrounding me in the White House.
Okay. Just so you know, because I don't want to take anything out of context, do you know why he gave that answer? That was because John McCain had said, you know, you're around Jeremiah Wright and Bill Ayers. And the president got very indignant. What, you want to know how you can tell what my policies are and what I believe? Look to the people around me. This answer was given when somebody said, you had a lot of Marxists around you. No. I have Dick Lugar and I have Joe Biden. Really?